Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse, and today I want to take you around the server and look on some of the things that this server has got. We're just gonna look at it on the outside. I'm not gonna turn it on in this video. I might do that later on in another video maybe. And it's not a brand new server, it's a server that has had some years of work, and I got it from nothing. So, and it's a server, it's about 5 years old, and it's an IBM server, and right here is the manufacture date. It's from 2009. And it's an IBM. Let's get some lights down here. IBM X3650 Model 2. And I really like this model of IBM servers. I think it's very neat. The 2U height of it, and the configuration inside. And on this, the first model of this server, I've only seen that with 3.5 inches of hard drives, and I actually got some of those. And this Model 2, the Model 2 server, is the first one that I got with the 2.5 inches of hard drives, and this one's got a lot of them. It's like a lot of storage in this server. These are 500 gigabyte hard drives. There's SAS hard drives and 7200 RPMs. So there's 8 of those in here. So that's about a storage capacity of 4 terabytes. And it's kind of a waste, because you can get 4 terabytes in one hard drive, 3.5 inches, but well, these are really, they're winning on the server side. It's very hard to get servers with 3.5 inches of hard disks anymore. If you see my video about the M4 server, the newest edition of these, I got one with 3.5 inches hard drives, and but they're pretty rare. IBM only has a few model numbers with that configuration, and otherwise everything is pretty much like the M4. If you look at the side here, it's the same rail system with these 3 rails to put it in the rack. And this server needs 2 person to carry it. It's a 2-person server. It's like IBM has this rule that if something weighs over 15 kilos, you need another person. So this is 18 kilos, so 2 persons. The rack configuration is up here, how this is done, how to put it down into the rack. The server is made in China, it's on the label. And on the back side, let's see what we got. First, let's get the lights. Some more light over here. And we have a light over here that we can move some a bit closer. There we are. First we have a management adapter, an IMM. On this one is just called System MGMT. And then we have a empty slot. This is actually for additional network connections. And then we have the built-in network connections, which are on the system board. We have a monitor connector, good old one. And then we have some light diodes to show if there's power on the system. We have a serial port right there. And we have 2 USB ports here. And there's additionally 2 USB ports in the front. Two USB ports here, 1 and 2. And there's another outtake for monitor, which enables you to connect to the server from on the front of the server instead of in the back. And you have this panel, light diagnostics. If there's something wrong with the server, you can get an indication of what is wrong with it. And one of these light diodes will light up. And if you turn off the server, there's a reminder button that you can press, and a light switch will turn up. If this server had a bad memory block and you took it down from the rack, you can still press the button and it will tell you that it was a bad memory block. It has this light diode that you can press. If you're in a data center and there's something wrong with this server and you have to go around to the backside of it, if you have like 10 racks and 15 servers in every rack, you can even have 21 servers of these in one rack. You can press this button and the light diodes on the back, there's a light diode there, and it has a light tower on it, and it's a blue diode as far as I remember, and it will light up and show you that it's this server that you're working on. And this server has 2 power supplies for redundancy, and they are tiny. They're a bit long, but they're tiny. The power supply on the model 1 of this server, they were huge power supplies, and compared to that, these are tiny. And this is what is this? This is 675 watts of a power supply. And this is the original one that comes with the server because it has this label. The other one is it's bought extra. Some configurations come with 2 power supplies. If you buy a server with 2 processors in it, there's usually 2 power supplies as well. And yeah, the other one is just the same. There's this opening mechanism over here. You press this button and it releases, and you press it back and the cover will come off. And on the back side of the cover, oh, it's upside down. On the back side of the cover, there's a lot of information that you very often need. You very often need this. It has some descriptions on hard disk install and how to put in your PCI ports, and it has what all the light diodes on the front diagnostics panel, what does they mean down there, and hot swap hard disk, hot swap fans, hot swap power supplies, and the extra Ethernet adapter that you can buy for this server if you need 4 network cards, network plugs. There's a bit small drawing on how to connect that, and there's an overview of the system board. And very important and very small down here is the memory configuration of how to install the memory in this server. And there's a apparently there's 16 memory slots, 16, and if you're only using one processor, you can only use 8 of those. If you have 2 processors, you can use all 16. So that's important to note. And here is how to change a microprocessor, and here is all the spare parts for this server, and here are some websites that you can find additional information on. We have these 3 big fans. The thought of a server like this is that air is sucked in from in front of the server and goes down past the vital stuff. So we have a fan here, and the air is channeled through this processor. And we have another one over here, and it's this fan which draws in the air. And this middle fan, all the RAM is down here. So the middle one is cooling down the memory, and all the other parts is cooled from the power supply fans. This area over here and the slot up here, there are fans inside of the power supply that sucks in air and blows it out this way. So it sucks in air from up here, and the air has to go through the rate controller first. So the rate controller gets the cold air, and the power supplies gets that air. In here, whoops, we have the memory. I don't know how much memory this one has, but it looks like it's 4 gigabyte blocks. So 16, it's 32 gigabytes of RAM in this server, and it has 2 processors, 1 and 2, and these processors, I can't really remember what they're on. I think it's 2.4 gigahertz processors, and this server was the first server that we got that used the Ninhelen processor. Let's see if I can see that. No, I'm not gonna take off the cooling material on the processor. There we are. We'll just put this back on. But I'm pretty sure it's a 2.4 gigahertz Ninhelen quad-core processor. If I'm not mistaken, it's the X. Oh no, it's probably the E5540. But I'll write that down here, which processor it is. And yeah, there's 2 of them, one here and one there. And each of them has 4 cores and hyperthreading. So each of them has 8 threads. So the both of them together has 16 threads. And that's pretty cool. And this is the storage adapter, which goes over to the hard drives in front of the server, and it's built up of slots here for the hard drives, and each of these connectors goes to a bank of 4 hard drives. And the last bank over here, this server is able to install 12 hard drives. The last bank is not connected. You buy these separately. If you buy the entry level of this server, it has only 1 of these connected when you get it, and it has a really low price RAID adapter down here. This has been exchanged for a better one. And this one has battery backup, and down here we have another connection. I'm not totally sure what that does, but it looks like to be one of these. So maybe that's for the last one. I'm not sure. Haven't really seen that before. I've been working with these servers for years, and I haven't tried that one. Here there is a power connector for video. If you should install a video adapter in the server, there's a power connector for it there, and you install the PCI X boards on these. Oh, I have to go further away. On these systems, and you put it into the server. Like this. It plugs down there. And you can get different ones. Like this is for ordinary PCI. You can get the ones that are longer, and the one for video adapters and stuff like that. I have a little thing, and this is extra. This server comes with a built-in management adapter, and this is the key for getting extra features on your management adapter, so you can remote control your server. And with this key you can also see the screen on the server, and that's pretty important when you are using remote management on the server. Without it, you can power on and power off the server, no problem, but you are not able to see what's on the screen, and very often that's kind of a must. Down here there is also a USB connector, and this is meant for putting in a USB stick here, and you can boot from the USB stick. And it's pretty normal to, if you're using the server for virtualization like VMware, it's pretty cool to boot your VMware from a stick and just have it use the storage on a SAN or a NAS, or what storage you got. And yeah, the memory system on this server is divided into memory blocks. So on this server, as well as the next generation and the next generation again, if you fill up all the memory slots, your memory frequency goes down. I think this server is able to do 1.33 gigahertz if you only fill up the first memory bank. If you fill that up 2 memory banks, it's able to do 1066 megahertz. And if you fill up 3 banks, I think it's 800 megahertz. I'm not totally, I'll try and Google that and put it in the bottom of the screen. But I'm very fond of this server. I like the size of them. And over here I'm not sure what this is. This is something, but I've never seen it in use. This plate and stuff, it comes out. Does it go somewhere? I have no idea. But it's nicely out of the way there. So what else is there? Yeah, this server comes with a DVD drive. There. We don't use that much. It's years between we use a DVD drive in a server now. We always use the management adapter and just load an ISO file to the server, and it boots from an ISO file over the network, and there's absolutely no problem in that. Here's the connection for the extra network ports that goes out this way. And on the Model 2 it's a Broadcom network that is used, and there is the video card is down here somewhere, and I think it's Matrox. I can't find that chip. But this is a really cool entry-level server. They're not sold anymore, but if you need a good server, this could be a good model to buy. It's not too it's not too expensive anymore. When we started buying these was about 9,500 kroner, which is it's about $1,500 with a slow processor, like the entry-level processor of 1.8 or 2 gigahertz, and yeah, quad core something, and 4 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes of RAM or something like that. So a very cheap entry-level server, and you can plug in better processors and a lot more RAM. I think this, if I'm not mistaken, this goes up to 192 gigabytes of RAM. I'm gonna check that. So it does quite good. So that was kind of an overview of this server, and there's the possibility of installing more hard drives if you want that. So, well, I hope you found this overview of the IBM 3650 Model 2 useful in some way. There's a deep switch down there. I have never needed that. And there's a lot of other things, like something there, and there is jumpers here. Don't know what that is for. More or less, you buy a server like this and you put it in a rack, and it runs for 10 years and there's no problem with it. These are really good servers. Sometimes you get a bad one from the factory, but normally there's no problems. So thank you for watching my videos on the server IBM 3650, and do subscribe to my channel. I will do a review or pass over a Model 3 as well. Have a nice day.